I think it would be best to start with you telling me a little bit about your journey into the interior design. What made you decide and pursue that route? Tell us a little bit about that.
Excellent question. Because to give you a little bit of background, I've always had a lifelong passion for design and our spaces and how we live in the world and interact with it. But I started as a dental hygienist,
Oh, wow.
which is completely different, 180, all sciences and health sciences. And after a few years, I realized that's not where my passion was. And I think when we talk about design and construction, it's really important to understand that this profession, you have to be led by passion and really understanding how the world is built. And so I decided to go back to school, and I that was in 2001, and I have not looked back since. It's been a real journey, and I made the right decision back 25 years ago, and it's great. So that's a little bit
Amazing.
about myself.
Amazing. That's great. So you're doing it now for more than 20 years.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Wow.
so the time flies and it's changed so much, which I'm sure we'll talk about how the profession has changed. And it's really exciting what's happening in design, in construction, in Toronto, the built environment and the bylaws, they're changing, and I'm excited about that. So
Great, great. So how do you see the relationship between the interior design and construction? And I guess a follow-up question would be uh, how how do these two complement each other? So I find a lot that there could be conflicts between construction and interior design. So tell us a little bit about that.
I think that's an excellent question. Design and construction, I really love the collaboration that happens between the two professions and how they overlap. So, oftentimes, the designer has a vision and a plan, but when you layer that with how do you actually build spaces and how do you build the house and how do you build the space, working with the contractor is super important from beginning to the end. Designers have these big dreams, and then contractors come in or the trades come in and they say, let's think about how to make that a reality. And so, but what's important to consider is how important it is to collaborate right from the beginning. So, a lot of planning goes into building a house, building a laneway house, building a bathroom. And so it's important to bring all the different perspectives together and really help to just work together. Yeah.
And let me ask you a follow-up question. How do you battle situations where, you know, when you have drawings and contractors are working as per drawings, you got a lot of structural information that usually is not on the drawings. You know, seeing something in 2D and having a building in 3D, that's a different story, right? And sometimes you would design something, and unfortunately, in real life, you would have an ugly piece of structure going in between, and you got to do something about it. Tell me
Yes.
about it. Tell me a little bit about this process. How do you overcome this kind of situations?
I know it's an interesting thing to think about. It's really important to consider what goes into a space. So it's great. Oftentimes, working with clients, they say, when I interview clients, I ask certain questions. How do you live? What is your space? How do you envision your space? And so clients come and they say, I want a brighter space. It feels too dark in here or too small. And so then you put pen to paper and you have these ideas, and then you get to the room or the house and you realize, oh, there's a beam that's supporting.
That's
Excuse
it.
me, there's a beam
That's
that's
my fault.
supporting. Yeah. But okay, so now all of a sudden what worked on plan doesn't work in reality. And on the spot, sometimes you have to really start thinking about how do we coordinate, how do we implement the vision with these challenges, and together, working together, implementing the challenges, implementing the solutions are is just super important. So does that answer?
Yeah, it does. That's a wrap for today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in and joining us for another awesome conversation. You can check out our next video for a preview of what's coming up. Also, if you're a designer, a contractor, or just someone in the construction industry with a passion to share, we're inviting you to join us on this show. Come share your voice, your ideas, and let's make something awesome together. We'll catch you on the next one, and until then, back to work.